Morning, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Today is Thursday, May 8th, 2025. It's 10 a.m. Thank you all for attending and those viewing online. Roll call, please.
Mark Cole,
Here.
Michael Dubose,
Here.
Jim Kowalski,
Here.
Monty Matalaga,
Here.
Ross Bourgeois,
Here.
Stephen Guidry,
Here.
Lenore Faney, here, Jason Hanneman,
Here.
Erica Dorsey. Yeah.
We have a quorum. Let's rise for a moment of silence. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. An opportunity to address the commission by employees or others concerning items on the agenda. Do we have anyone signed up? Director?
Mr. Chairman, I have not received any requests.
Moving on, general business for consideration of the meeting minutes from March 13th, 2025.
Chairman, I move that we accept them. Second.
So moved and seconded. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Second item is a consideration of a request from the Office of State Police to establish a policy pursuant to State Police Commission Rule 6.30, allowing participation in the law enforcement recruitment incentive program as established by Act 376 of the 2023 regular legislative session. The proposed effective date of the policy is May 8th, 2025. We have a representative of the agency available to answer any questions further. Any discussion? Yes. This is a rule that was set in place by the commission in 2023 as a result of legislation that allowed for a recruitment incentive of $5,000 per trooper who was not previously employed by a law enforcement entity or not previously post-certified. There's still money on in the pot, if you will, from the Treasury, and State Police has built out some policy now to follow along with the rule established by the Commission 6.30, enacting this recruitment incentive.
So, good morning, Mr. Chairman and members. Is this working? That's fine. I can speak loud enough. Thank you. Just a couple points for the commission, so that way maybe some questions that you're considering. First off, this one-time opportunity sunsets on July the 1st, this July. Originally, when the act passed, it didn't clearly include Louisiana State Police, so that was not the interpretation. After further discussion with our legislative liaisons, our LSTA and other team members, it was given to us or authorized that State Police was included in this. So if you look back at since it took place, which it began on July the 21st, or July 1st of 2023, we've graduated class 103, 104, 105, and then 106 graduates this month on the 30th. It's over about 180 troopers. However, all are not eligible because if you were a prior law enforcement officer, then that didn't meet the criteria. This was to encourage law enforcement officers across the state to join sheriff's offices, police departments, including Louisiana State Police. So our number is 65 new troopers. With your approval and consideration, would be authorized a one-time $5,000 bonus, if you will, for their post certification and completion of a police academy, in this case, troopers. So it would affect 65. The money is funded through the legislature. However, we must ensure that we submit this request prior to July 1st. Certainly, based on the commission rules, we need your consideration, review, and approval for that. We're excited for this opportunity. An additional criteria is the post certification must be attained within 1 year of hire. And they must maintain full continuous employment for a period of 2 years. And so we feel like this is an incredible opportunity for our young men and women who join the ranks of state police for the first time, never been in law enforcement. So that would include some military, college students, and which is 2/3 of our complement. The other third comes from prior law enforcement. So respectfully request your consideration. I'll take any questions.
Questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to
Second.
approve.
A motion to approve item number 2 and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you. The young men and women who came back to the ranks of public safety are being rewarded, and I think that's a great step in the right direction for the state of Louisiana. Thank you.
With that, we move to item 3, consideration of a request from the Office of State Police pursuant to State Police Commission Rule 6.16D to establish a special premium rate of 10.5% above the incumbent's base pay for all hours worked in position number 50557061 while performing the hazardous and specialized duties associated with the tactical flight officer assignment. And I'd like to speak to this just a little bit before we ask the colonel or a representative for the agency to come up for questions or discussion. Historically, state police with positions like this, we have built out titles within our pay scale for a polygraphist or emergency services technician and other titles. This would be just about the first of its kind that we would offer a incentive-based pay to a trooper with a special certification or working in a specific capacity. That would be 10.5% on top of the P1 pay scale. So we're looking at basically assigning a detail rate, if you will, to incentivize that program. I think what that also allows the trooper to do is have some lateral mobility. What I think we've seen historically is some of these titles or some of these positions fall into a silo without the ability to transfer to another section, with any movement becoming disciplinary or almost too difficult for transfer. So I think what this does is ensures a performance based incentive for these the immediate need of this very specific role in the air support unit. 2 weeks ago, while out providing proactive enforcement in the urban city of New Orleans, Troop NOLA engaged a Dodge Challenger with a Scat Pack engine. And unfortunately, Colonel, our fleet of Tahoes weren't able to keep up, but we did have air support available, and they were able to coordinate and follow this suspect vehicle, the stolen suspect vehicle, across the Mississippi River into a couple of urban areas, and we were able to recover that vehicle and conduct a follow-up investigation only because of air support and that specialized equipment that they have. That can be as successful as the outcome was, it can be better with tactical flight officer position in that role that can fine tune those skills to operate those cameras and this high-speed equipment to assist the ground units who are tracking or providing that enhance public safety. That's kind of my understanding of it, and what we're seeing the immediate need for. And if Colonel, if you'd like to speak to the this request.
First, I'd like to thank you. That was very well said. I don't know if there's much more to fill in. But Mr. Chairman and members, this is a critical position, not only for the city of New Orleans, but across the state of Louisiana. It's no secret, Louisiana State Police is a support agency. Behind me, you'll see our command inspector, Major Jason Smith, who's over our emergency response, which includes our air support and command pilot Keith Grow in the flight suit. Our fleet of aircraft are utilized by our local sheriffs and police departments and other state agencies who don't have the training, the skill, nor the budget to have that technology, life-saving equipment. Specifically, in addition to technology, and I know, General, from your time in the military and others who are familiar with it, in aircraft, in the military, normally in a helicopter specifically, and that's really where this position comes into play. Not that it couldn't be in position for the fixed wing aircraft that we have as well, but specifically for our rotary wing or our helicopters, they fly 2 pilots and 2 crew chiefs. It is incredibly technical and dangerous to operate a helicopter with 1 or even 2 pilots and also trying to operate the investigative tools and technology which are in that aircraft, especially during night operations in urban areas where there's several towers, wires, light poles, and things that can quickly become deadly when operating an aircraft. We need our pilots to be focused on operating the aircraft and handling the mission with regard to flying the aircraft, not operating the investigative tools and technology or other things, such as the hoist and the Bambi buckets. As we know, Louisiana had our first set of wildfires in August of 2023 in Beauregard and Vernon parishes in the west side of the state. And we were able to utilize those, what we would call life-saving equipment, in conjunction with the National Guard and the U.S. Forestry. But you need a tactical flight officer to operate that equipment. Additionally, the hoist for life-saving that we've had at times, we've had to help out. Wildlife and Fisheries doesn't have the rotary wing, rotary wing aircraft that we have. We partner with them regularly, saving a boat, a boat operator who found themselves stuck right on the edge of a dam. It requires that hoist, and you need someone to operate that effectively, efficiently. This position, to the chairman's point, allows for an increase, which is, I guess the best way to describe it is justified through the training and the expertise that will be required to be in this role. We have to incentivize it. It is incredibly dangerous. Doors will be open in the aircraft when this happens. And you also have to have a technology background. You have to understand how to work a FLIR and a thermal. We know that everything today is AI driven, and we have a lot of that technology in our aircraft used for law enforcement purposes. And so this individual, clearly, whoever gets selected if it's approved by the commission today, will have to have a certain set of skills, training, and expertise, and work in conjunction with our command pilot and the team of pilots that we have. And I'll be glad to take any further questions about the position.
I don't think I have a question so much as a comment, and I'll leave it up to the chairman whether we want to amend our decision or add this as a motion to it. But in the research I've done and the way that I understand this position plays out, it can be an on-call thing. Clearly it's a required skill set. And I think my concern is more one about, is one position enough And, possibly could you take a look at, evaluate use of this position and that particular trooper's hours and the number of calls that was not able to support, or and maybe nobody called him to do this. So, and come back to us in maybe a year and let us know, is one position up to do this, or there going to be a requirement for additional position?
It's a great question, General. So the thought process is twofold. One, this request that we have allows for immediate positioning, or rather to take effect upon your approval. Secondly, it allows us to answer those questions you were just posing. It's more like a trial run. We know there's a need. We know there's probably growth, but would rather put someone in a position, answer those questions, call outs, responses to further justify expansion at a later date, but let's not put the cart before the horse. So, but the need is imminent right now. Many of you all know that we'll be shifting the same operation that we have in New Orleans, not a stand-up troop, will be taking place in Baton Rouge this summer, and we will be utilizing our aircraft, specifically those investigative tools and technology. And right now, we're just putting troopers up there who have the experience and who are willing to do it, and maybe have had training from the military or from another police agency. They're able to assist us, because it's not just understanding the rescue piece, it's that technology piece. And also being familiar with the area. We certainly don't want to take someone who's from Shreveport and put them in the aircraft when we're doing urban policing in the metropolitan Baton Rouge area and trying to understand streets and locations. Although it's written and the addresses are all there with the new technology, it's not the same as someone who's from that community and from that area. That knowledge and that layout is critical. I can speak to it on my own experiences from Katrina. Suddenly I found myself as a newly minted sergeant leading lieutenants and captains in areas for rescues, because I'm just familiar with the area, because I grew up and I'm native from the city. It's military rules. Rank suddenly goes out of the way, and it's the most knowledgeable person like in the field of battle, and that's who you lean to. So great point. The objective today is to get the one position approved, provide the analytics and the call outs and the response and the training, and build out that with the command pilot and the command inspector behind me, and hopefully coming back to you in the future with positive outcomes to show each one of you the analytics of how important the arrest, the life-saving, the critical function that we not only do for state police as an agency, but that we do for other agencies. Because we got a call yesterday. It's very common that local agencies call us, and we have two hangars, one in Baton Rouge and one in Alexandria. Baton Rouge covers the south, the east and the west, and then the north Alexandria covers. So we understand this is something we probably should have had many years ago. But as y'all know, I'm very optimistic, and I just like to look forward. This is what our vision is today, and how we grow it. But thank you for those comments.
And with that, General Colonel, would you commit to revisiting maybe with an assessment of the program by December of this year, and we can maybe assess maybe augmentation or a pivot should it, in case you, would that be?
Yes, sir. We can submit something back to the commission with those numbers that you requested, and just call outs, more importantly, missions specifically used with the tactical flight officer. Some may refer to it in military terms as a crew chief, but for law enforcement, we'll call it a TFO as written in the documents in front of you. But we can provide that report, and I'm quite confident that Command Pilot Grow will have those numbers, because as you all know, anybody in the aviation business, everybody on the aircraft is logged in hours, and it's how we do it. And we think this is the most safe, is number one, and effective way to provide law enforcement air support to state of Louisiana.
I move that we approve with the addition of the status report in December.
Second motion.
This is a motion to amend the item to add an assessment in December of 2025, and a second for that amendment for item 3. And any discussion on the reassessment? I do have one thing on the reassessment. I think maybe additionally on the assessment of the program, we can assess the eligibility of or maybe the certifications of this tactical flight officer program and build out what this incentive would be based on. You agree with that? Good. Good. We're good. Okay, as amended, I'll accept and I'll vote on the amendment. That's what I'll do. Vice Chair, thank you. Roll call, just all in favor of the amendment to item 3? Any opposed? The ayes have it. And with that, we'll accept a motion to approve item 4, deny the request of item 3 as amended.
Move to approve.
So moved. Second. And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, Colonel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members.
Moving on to item 4, consideration of a motion to establish a Distinguished Service Award be presented annually, a classified member of the State Police Service, and authorize the Executive Director to develop and publish the nomination and selection process, with the inaugural award to be presented in May 2026. And I'll pass it on to Mr. Vice Chairman to discuss.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What we'd like to do is establish the Distinguished Service Award as indicated. The primary purpose of that would be to award a trooper who has given exceptional service and made a lasting impact on the state police, the law enforcement profession, and the citizens of Louisiana by demonstrating excellence, integrity, and commitment through outstanding leadership, innovative contributions, or consistent high performance. And the Colonel and I have had some conversations, as well as spoken to the chairman. This person is kind of the unsung heroes, is kind of the way I envision this. The guy that comes to work every day, or the girl that comes to work every day, and it just does consistent good work, perhaps in a less visible position, but very important work that benefits the state and the profession of law enforcement in general. So I look forward to getting that off the ground and getting that inaugural award in 26.
So, Mr. Chairman, Hart supports this. I don't understand the process so that the commissioners can see what awards are currently out there, specific requirement for this award, who gets to submit. Is that from each troop and then chosen by the superintendent? So basically, go ahead and fill out this out. So I am in favor of the idea, but I think we need to see the details on that.
I think what we're doing today is asking the executive director to draft that up and come back to us for approval.
Okay, great. Already got all my questions in.
I've been compiling information.
With that, I'd accept a motion.
So moved.
So moved. Second. All in favor?
Uh,
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Moving to item 5, consideration of a resolution for the professional legal services contract for fiscal year 2026.
Chairman, as of last year, the approval of a resolution is required for all contracted legal services, and such contracts may not exceed a 1-year term. So what I have included as item number 5 is an updated resolution for fiscal year 26, which conforms to the format and language requirements established by the Office of State Procurement and Attorney General. And with that, bringing a lengthy resolution into the record. State Police Commission Resolution. Contract for professional legal services with Taylor Porter Brooks and Phillips LLP. Whereas the State Police Commission was constitutionally created, invested with broad and general rulemaking and subpoena powers for the administration and regulation of the classified state police service. And whereas the State Police Commission has the exclusive power and authority to hear and decide all removal and disciplinary cases. And whereas the commission is in need of legal representation in the form of a general counsel to serve as a referee for disciplinary cases, provide representation for possible litigation, and provide counsel to staff and commission members. And whereas Taylor, Porter, Brooks, and Phillips LLP have provided legal services to the commission for over 30 years, and Emlyn Orfini has served in the role of contracted special counsel for over 11 years. And whereas the hourly rate of contract shall be $350 per hour, $350 per hour, within the guidelines established by the Louisiana Attorney General, the total compensation for the one-year contract not to exceed $115,500. And whereas the term shall not be for a period of more than 1 year from the effective date of July 1, 2025. And whereas in the event of claims brought in federal court seeking equitable relief, these claims may implicate the interests of the state of Louisiana. And so the commission agrees to provide advance written notice to the Louisiana Attorney General 10 business days before the next meeting, an opportunity for the Attorney General to express concerns directly to the commission in writing or an executive session before the commission. Or in order to propose a settlement, accept a proposed settlement, agree to a consent decree, or enter any other agreement with any party in federal action for declaratory or injunctive relief that is going to be or has been filed, or files any document in any federal case in which a declaratory or injunctive relief has been granted against the commission. Final judgment dismissing the case has not been entered, and at least 3 years have passed since any party seeking relief, including the US DOJ in amicus capacity, filed any document in the case. Accordingly, the commission authorizes and directs the law firm to provide required notice to the Attorney General. Release such information and documentation as the Attorney General may request in response to the notice, and generally cooperate with the Attorney General to the notice. And whereas this resolution shall take effect immediately, and therefore be it resolved that the State Police Commission pursuant to Louisiana Revised Statute 42262 does hereby retain and employ Taylor, Porter, Brooks, and Phillips LLP and Emlyn Orfini, special counsel. And be it further resolved, this resolution and proposed contract described herein be submitted to the Attorney General of the State of Louisiana for approval. Thus done and signed, City of Baton Rouge, 8th day of May.
The motion?
So moved.
Second. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. On to the directors.
Mr. Chairman, on your Director's Report tab, fiscal year 2025 expenditures to date. Any commissioner questions regarding the current fiscal year 2025 expenditures? Say we're on target. Next item I have in my report is that it's a report on the budget hearings. Legislature, our budget request for fiscal year 26 was presented to the Senate Finance Committee and the House Committee on Appropriations. There were no questions from either committee regarding our request. Proceeding requested. Fingers crossed, we'll make it to the end of the session. The next item is that we are working on the required update to the strategic plan. Strategic plan is a catalog of performance indicators unique to each agency. Title 39 of the Louisiana Revised Statutes requires that 5-year strategic plan be revised at least every 3 years. The new requirement for 2025 is that every agency include an indicator of efficiency and identify their top 5 performance indicators. And I will keep you posted on the proposed revisions to our strategic plan. And questions. I also would like to remind any of you that have not yet completed your tier 2.1 financial disclosures. Those are due to the Board of Ethics by May 15th. Our next meeting is scheduled for June 12th, 2025. And from team, we would like to wish the chairman a happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
That concludes my report.
And are there any speaker requests for Mr. Director for address the commission by employees on matters not on the agenda?
There are no requests, Mr.
There
Chairman.
being no requests, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Conclude this meeting. Thank you.